A narrow mountain pass, the mightiest army of the ancient world, and only 300 Spartans? That is the legend everyone knows. But the true history is far more complex. Behind those 300 Spartan warriors stood over 7,000 Greek soldiers, allies, who fought, bled, and died, yet were overshadowed by the fame of the Spartan 300. Today, we go deeper into the Battle of Thermopylae Beyond the legend of 300 to uncover the full story behind this defining moment in ancient history. Year 480 BC. The Persian Empire under King Xerxes I is at its peak, vast, wealthy, unstoppable. Xerxes leads an enormous army described in ancient texts as hundreds of thousands, sometimes even over 1 million soldiers. Greece, on the other hand, is a patchwork of small, independent city-states, often divided, seldom united. But faced with annihilation, Sparta and Athens set aside their rivalries and urgently call upon the other Greek city-states to stand together. And the most strategic place to block the Persian advance into southern Greece is the narrow pass of Thermopylae, the Hot Gates, a bottleneck so tight that only a few warriors could stand shoulder to shoulder. If there was any place where a small Greek force could delay the largest army of the ancient world, it was here. Most movies only mention 300 Spartans, but history says otherwise. The Greek forces at Thermopylae included around 7,000 men, 300 elite Spartan hoplites, 700 Thespians who fought to the last man, 400 Corinthians, 500 warriors from Phlius, 1,000 from Phocians, 1,000 from Locris, and others from various city-states. Sparta was only a fraction, and not even the largest contingent. Especially notable were the Thespians, often forgotten by history, who volunteered to stay and die beside the Spartans in the final stand. Thermopylae was not just a Spartan tale. It was the story of Greek unity in the face of overwhelming odds. Leonidas of Sparta understood he could not destroy the Persian army, but he could delay it. Thermopylae's terrain, narrow, winding, unforgiving, nullified the Persian advantage in numbers. Only a small number of soldiers could fight abreast. This was where the famous phalanx formation of the Greeks excelled. Overlapping shields, long spears, heavy bronze armor, perfect discipline. For 2 full days, wave after wave of Persian soldiers were crushed, pushed back, or trapped by the unbreakable Greek shield wall. Ancient accounts even say Xerxes rose from his throne 3 times in shock as he watched his men slaughtered by a force far smaller than his own. The impossible was happening. The Greeks were stopping the Persian tide.
Inevitable tide of Persian steel flooding the narrow pass.
The battle might have lasted much longer, if not for betrayal. A Greek named Ephialtes revealed a hidden mountain trail to the Persians, a path that allowed them to circle behind the Greek lines. When Leonidas realized his army was about to be surrounded, he understood that Thermopylae could no longer be held. What he did next created a legend. Leonidas dismissed most of the Greek forces to save them for future battles. Remaining with him were 300 Spartans, 700 Thespians, 400 Thebans, some unwilling, some loyal, and other small contingents. In total, around 1,500 2,000 warriors, not just 300. They stayed knowing they would die. They held the rear long enough for Greece to prepare its defenses. They fought until their spears shattered, their swords broke, their shields were crushed, and when all weapons failed, they fought with their hands. One by one, they fell around the body of Leonidas. Xerxes, furious at the losses inflicted upon his army, ordered Leonidas's head cut off and displayed on a stake, a rare act of anger for a Persian king.
Hold the line! Push them back! For Sparta!
Thermopylae fell, but the sacrifice achieved its goal. Because of the stand at Thermopylae, Athens had time to evacuate its people. The Greek fleet reorganized. The united Greek forces prepared for the decisive battle at Salamis. And at Salamis, the Persian navy was destroyed, turning the tide of the war. Thermopylae was a defeat, but a strategic victory for the survival of Greek civilization and for the future of the Western world.
Into ranks! Ready your shields! Phocians betrayed us. The Persians are crossing the path now. We are surrounded.
Thermopylae is a symbol of courage, sacrifice, unity, and the price paid for freedom, not just by 300 Spartans, but by thousands of Greeks who stood against impossible odds. When we speak of Thermopylae, we must remember them all. Their bravery did not end a war, but it lit the fire that would save a civilization.
Molon labe.